Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
I'm going to call the Select Board meeting of May 21st, 2020 to order at 6:30 p.m. on May 21st. We are all in remote locations and are being filmed and recorded by Fact TV so that you can find us, I believe, on Channel 8. We urge that if you have any questions or comments you want to make, that you please get in touch with Sarah Downing, who is with us. She is in Town Hall and she is there every day of the week. We are being also recorded by Regina Borden, and I'm Peggy Pashear. Steve D'Alessio is here and Cheryl Mayberry is here. So Sarah, are you going to put up our agenda or tonight, or are we just going to go without? There we are. Okay. Steve, would you like to start?
Yep, I make a motion to accept the accounts payable check register in the total amount of $660,204.54 for checks dated 5/22/20, and this includes $615,204.54 as a payment to the Fall Mountain Regional School District.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions about this accounts payable? Hearing none, I will call for a vote, which will be by roll call as required. Steve?
Aye.
Thank you. Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The accounts payable check register is approved for 5/22/2020.
I make a motion to accept the payroll register totaling $26,680.42 for checks dated 5/22/2020 and the 9/41 payroll tax of $5,361.67.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
I also vote aye. The payroll register for 5/22/2020 is approved.
I make a motion to accept the first responders payroll register totaling $14,914.27 and the 9/41 payroll tax transfer of $2,896.20. I'd like to add that this amount will be refunded to us as part of the COVID-19 response of the state.
Thank you. I'm glad. If you
Second.
put that in there, I would have. Okay, so it's been seconded by Cheryl. Are there any other questions or comments? This is a lump sum payment we've made rather than spreading it out over 8 weeks. Hearing no comments or questions, I'll call for the vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
I also vote aye. The first responders payroll register is approved.
I make a motion to approve the select board minutes of May 14th, 2020.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments about these select board minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote yes as well. So the select board meeting minutes of May 14th, 2020 are approved.
I make a motion to accept the non-public select board session minutes of May 14th, 2020, and these minutes shall remain sealed.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments about it? Hearing none, the non-public select board session, let's hear a vote of Steve.
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
They are approved and sealed for May 14th, 2020, because I vote yes as well.
I make a motion to actually acknowledge the library trustee minutes of May 12th, 2020.
Thank you. And let's go on to property tax abatements, please.
I make a motion to accept the property tax abatement for map 3, lot 56, sublot 0, in the amount of $834. It was, an additional tract of land was added to correct the deed.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments about this? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
I also vote aye. So this property tax abatement for map 3, lot 56 for $834 is approved.
I make a motion to accept the property tax abatement for map 19, lot 13, sublot 0, in the amount of $327.86, and its temporary depreciation is being applied where repairs are being done.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote then, please. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So map 19, lot 13 abatement is approved.
I make a motion to accept the property tax abatement for maps 26, lot 6, sublot 0, in the amount of $276.83. A shed was removed from the property and the topography was changed on the tax card.
Are there any-
Second.
Okay, are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So map 26, lot 6 abatement is approved.
I make a motion to accept the supplemental tax warrant for map 3, lot 56, sublot 0. It's to bill the new owner of this vacant lot, and it's related to the property tax abatement above.
Second.
Thank you, Cheryl. Are there any questions or comments about it? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So the supplemental tax warrant for map 3, lot 56 is approved.
I make a motion to accept the certification of yield taxes assessed for timber tax on map 2, lot 12, sublot 0. It's located off of County Road.
Second.
All right, are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So this is a map 2, lot 12 is approved.
I make a motion to accept the certification of yield taxes on timber tax, original warrant yield tax levy for map 2, lot 12, sublot 0.
Second.
Any questions or comments about this? Obviously, this warrant is related to the last motion that we passed. Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So the original warrant yield tax levy for map 2, sublot 12, or lot 12 rather, is approved.
I make a motion to accept the gravel tax warrant on map 14, lot 13, sublot 0, and map 15, lot 11, sublot 0.
Second. These are on Brewery Road, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
both of them
Second.
are. All right.
Yes, for Cold River material. Yep.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay. You're voting. Okay. Aye. Cheryl?
He's rushing us right along.
Pass along. Cheryl?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. So excavation intents for map 14, lot 13, map 15, and lot 11 are approved. Thank you.
I make a motion to accept the excavation intents for map 14, lot 13, Sublot 0, and this is on Brewery Road for code written materials.
Second,
Okay, this is on Ramsey Hill Road, the building permit. Is that what you're reading?
This is
no, we're
the
reading the
excavation intent.
excavation,
I thought you read them both together last time.
but that was the gravel tax
That was
warrant.
the warrant.
Okay, I don't have that on my, I don't have that here in front of me. Okay. Are
Yeah,
there questions about it? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
aye.
Cheryl?
Aye,
All right, that is approved.
I make a motion to accept the excavation intent for map 15, lot 11, sublot 0, and it's the location is on Brewery Road.
second,
Any questions or comments? Then I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
aye,
All right, aye, and the motion is approved.
I make a motion to accept building permit 2020-14 for Christopher Miller, 51 Ramsey Hill Road. Map 8, lot 84, sublot 0, to build a 32 by 24 storage building.
second.
Are there any questions or comments?
This one, I looked at the plans and it looks to me like it would be a garage because it's right at where the driveway is, but it's at an angle. And so I guess my general question, because I'm not familiar with the permitting process, I assume that whether you build a garage or a shed, there isn't necessarily a difference in the permitting requirements. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah, when I looked at it, I agree. It looked like a garage rather than just an ordinary shed, but it is at sort of an angle. So,
yeah,
well, if there are no questions or comments about it, then I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
aye,
I vote aye as well, so the building permit is approved. Now, this one is one we have to really is doing over under old business, that cemetery deed. I don't know if you can pull it up. We have to re-sign it. Evidently, there was an error in it. A name had been misspelled. So this is one I think that we approved earlier. Isn't that correct, Sarah? She's nodding her head yes, but that we've already approved this. We just have to re-sign it because there was a misspelling, and so the deed's been rewritten for 117.1-2. All right.
Yep.
I don't know whether it calls for a motion for us to accept this all over again.
Oh, this is the one that goes back to the 1800s?
I wouldn't think so. I guess it depends on, unless the name is significantly different. I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either. So I think we'll just simply approve it. We'll note that we have made corrections in that lot 117 dash looks like 1/2. And we will sign it again this weekend with these corrected names. Okay.
Yep.
The next item on the agenda is really the letter from town council, which we ask for annually to be sent to the bank when we are borrowing money to buy a police cruiser. When it came out initially today, it had a couple of errors. I think it had last year's dates, and it also had the wrong amount of money that we were borrowing, but I see that it has now been corrected, and I don't know that we have to approve it. We just simply have to acknowledge it and send it on to the bank. This obviously is a follow-up to a warrant article. It was approved on March 14th. So it's for the borrowing of money. Do you have any questions or comments about it?
We don't, right, so we don't need to sign it because it's from the attorney, correct?
The attorney, he has to sign it and send it on. But
Okay.
it is now correct. I'm glad we had an opportunity to look at it. Cheryl caught the date was wrong and I caught the amount of money that was wrong. So his clerk had attorneys in the attorney's office has corrected it, and it seems to be correct now. So he can go ahead and send it to Mascoma Bank. Okay? The next old business deals with the Houghton Brook and the bridge, which has been red listed for so long on Wentworth Road. We've received a great many communications recently from Fuss and O'Neill about this. Steve, can you bring us up to date where we are? I know they've given us what's going to be cost for this and also have begun to apply for a grant that will pay for approximately half of
That's
the
correct.
cost. But
What we did was we submitted for pre-approval to get into the cycle for this ARM grant,
right,
but there's still discussion about what the design of the bridge and what's really required there. That discussion hasn't ended yet. We had to the 29th, I think, to submit, or the 20th, yeah, maybe the 20th even, to submit our pre-approval application. So the amount was based on the design that was discussed with the DES, but I don't think we're finished with those discussions yet.
well, isn't there a choice as to whether we rebuild the bridge or replace the bridge?
That choice maybe already has been decided a little bit differently through DES and I guess Fish and Game, and they're suggesting replacing the whole bridge. But we're still maintaining that the bridge is structurally sound, and there are some other options. So the discussions will continue, I believe. But the first step was to just try to get into the queue for this ARM grant. It will be, we always knew that if we were to replace the bridge, it would be $500,000. It's no surprise as far as the numbers go. I still don't believe we need to replace that bridge from what.
Well, it is not heavily traveled.
Right.
But it has been on the red list for years now.
Right. And it's a matter of, I guess, opinion as to what we really do. So we have to have further discussions.
Do we have a choice?
I still think we have choice now.
Okay.
I think that, we should go back again to the DES and Fish and Game and have a discussion about a different design. I also don't know if there's an appeal process to any of this stuff. If the DES's decision is final, then it's final. But I don't know if there's an appeal process through a different loop. And I was going to ask Fuss and O'Neill that early next week.
Good. I think that's appropriate that we do that because
Yeah.
I think essentially what are there, 2 houses? At the other
Right.
end?
And, a big part of the cost is we have to build a temporary bridge
Right.
while the other one is being rebuilt or replaced. In talking with Mike Rao, he believes that if we break up the concrete and go back to a natural gravel base to that and fix the spillways, put a gravel, the concrete base to that bridge, if we took that out of the water and just left it to be natural again, that should be adequate to meet the standards. And that would be far less costly than replacing the bridge. He's spoken to Fuss and O'Neill about it. And again, I think it pays to get into the loop. If we miss the loop, then it's another year before we can apply again for anything. So let's get in the loop. We'll see if we get pre-approved. Maybe we won't even get pre-approved. Either way, if we repair that bridge, I don't see it as until after 2021 town meeting anyway. By the time the engineering work gets done and winter gets over with, you're back in 2021 anyway.
Right. Yes, it can't be done this year. I would agree.
Right, right.
Like,
And we also have some money yet, or quite a bit of money in that dam PDIP account,
yes,
which we had allocated for these kinds of projects. So
well,
we do have some resources.
first, some of it's going to be used for our reservoir dam, correct?
Right, and again, we don't even know what that design hasn't even been approved yet.
No, I know that.
So it's
Today, when I saw just bits of the national news and heard about 2 dams failing in
yes,
Midland, Michigan, and that town is under 9 foot of water, all I could think about was our dams and our
yes,
listed bridges, and
right,
we have to take care of
yes.
reservoir
So-
dams and
So yeah, we have to take care of them. And right now we have 3 purchase orders with Fuss and O'Neill, so we're able to track the cost accurately.
good.
He's billing against those 3. We have 3 separate projects going on. So
Third one being the Mill Pond Bridge, right? A Mill Pond.
yes, the Mill Pond Bridge and Dam. And on Reservoir Road, we finished the depth soundings.
Good,
So now they can redo the hydraulic study that's needed.
great, good.
Mill Pond, Fuss and O'Neill didn't think it, or I might have had a discussion with DES about declassifying that dam to low hazard instead of high hazard. And they still feel that this could be damage downstream.
Okay,
And, oh, again, I don't know if there's a appeal process or not.
okay. Well, thank you. I felt that we needed to all be on the same page. And
I agree. I agree completely.
Right. The next item under old business, if there are no more questions about the others, Sarah sent us a Supreme Court decision that I thought was pertinent. Sarah, do you want to tell us what you found? Because you're dealing with working on these town deeded property.
Yes, and I happen to be reading the NHMA weekly newsletter, and they have a courts section. And within there was a link, and it took me to this article I have up here, where the 3-year limitation on the duty of a municipality to pay excess proceeds from the sale of a tax deeded property is unconstitutional. So the long and the short of it is, if we have 2 tax deeded properties, and if the excess monies should be more than paying back the town all the taxes owed, and there's some penalties and other fees, the excess amounts would go back to the former property owner.
We were actually forewarned about this. This is not something that's new. It was something that was on the horizon at least a year ago when we started talking about our tax deeded properties. So
Yes.
it's not news really, but it's nice to see that see it in print.
It's important that we keep accurate track of the costs,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, advertising, everything.
The time to put together the packages, all of that needs to be carefully documented. And so that we can say this was our expenses related to these properties.
Correct. We do need to be clear about that. Any other comments about that? Any of those things? Is there any other old business to come up? Nothing?
Nope.
Okay, well, we have some things, of course, we've been working on, but let's go, that aren't ready to be discussed yet. Let's go on to new business, and this is the first. We have a request that the dollar store on combination asks us to approve a combination beverage, beer and wine, really, license. And this is the Family Dollar store on the, what is it, the north side of Route 12?
I'd say it's a west side,
West side, all right,
near the Jiffy Mart.
near Jiffy Mart, okay. Any comments or questions about it? You've read-
No, I was just gonna say, Yeah, so they're obviously trying to expand their business a little bit, it looks like, because
Correct.
of their competition across the street. So, yep.
Is there a motion to accept this application, to approve it?
I move to approve the Family Dollar request for the combination license. Liquor and a beverage and wine license.
Is there a second?
Aye, yes, second.
Okay, thank you. Are there any comments or questions about it?
Why did they copy the dairy PD on that?
Where's that?
Shouldn't that be
Oh,
Walpole?
that's a good question.
Shouldn't that be Walpole?
Well, it should be Walpole, but maybe they have I don't know, they may have a headquarters there perhaps. I
Mm.
don't know.
I don't either. I was just curious.
Might be a typo.
Could be a
Yeah,
typo.
well, if it's a requirement to notify the PD, then maybe we should notify them.
We will.
We
Sarah,
will.
I'll ask you to do that, please. Well, if there aren't any other questions or comments, yeah, it should be Walpole PD that they copied. They probably are doing this across the state.
We've done these before.
Pardon me?
We've done these before
I think we have too, yes.
for
Yep.
all the places that sell beer and wine, liquor.
Right.
Jake's does, Jake's Market, they
Yep.
have it.
Does
Yeah.
too, yeah. I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye,
Cheryl?
Aye.
I vote aye as well. So the request for the combination beverage wine license for Family Dollar on Route 12 is approved. And we'll sign it this weekend. All right, we have a request from the Recreation Department asking us to use monies from their funds to buy some windscreens and 3 new benches, 2 for the tennis courts and 1 from the pickleball court. And these funds would come from their revolving fund. They have plenty of money there. As you can see, the cost for what they're asking for is $1,055.30.
I move to approve the Walpole Recreation request for $1,055.30 to purchase their windscreens and 3 benches for the rec center from Putterman Athletics.
second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments about it? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye,
Cheryl?
Aye.
I vote aye. So the request from the recreation group for money is approved. And here it's followed by obviously their purchase order. Again, we can sign anything we need to when we come in this weekend into town hall. All right, thank you. The next is an agreement which the Conservation Commission has with Kristen Gowdy, who owns and operates Brookfield Farm. It is an in-kind maintenance agreement with Mr. Gowdy to keep the property Walker Road in order, and as well as to cut the hay. Are there any questions or comments about this?
it was a little just, I guess the whole idea of a nonprofit and a profit, for profit, and again, goes back to some of the things we went through on Hooper and other properties as well.
Yeah, yes. And you probably saw the question that I sent to Alicia about it.
Yeah,
And they are well aware of that requirement, and deliberately organized this in this way so that in return for taking care of this property and mowing it, he can take the hay from the property.
Yeah, this kind of stuff has been talked about several times during the conservation meetings. And I think it's of mutual benefit to them both, for conservation, to have it maintained and for him to be able to use the hay.
Is there a motion to approve this?
I move to approve this. What is it specifically? The agreement between conservation and the Gaudis for the maintenance of the Walker Road property.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Yeah, as I said, I raised some questions about it.
Do we think we should get this reviewed?
I don't know. I've thought about that. I think it's probably clear enough that it is an in-kind agreement. There is no money exchanging hands at all.
So I guess if this came up again, right, in a different context, where somebody wanted to,
If they were leasing the land to him, he would have to pay property tax.
well, what, like in a different context, what if somebody wanted to excavate on town property? Is that the same thing?
I don't know what one would do in return for excavating.
Well,
So-
take care of the road or something, I don't know.
Gray zone. I felt my immediate instinct was that we were maybe crossing a line.
Yeah, it seems like it's close, but I don't know. In-kind stuff is always iffy, you know?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
All right, whatever. I think it's best for both parties. I don't think there's any question.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, so,
Well, if there are no more comments or questions about it, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
I also vote aye, so it is approved. And I will let Alicia know that. Is there a place on here for us to sign? Yes, we can, there for Alicia and,
No, I think the chair does it.
all right.
So
well,
are we just authorizing Alicia to go forward with the in-kind agreement? Is that really what we're
yes, that's
approving?
what we're doing, but you have to move that you approve that I sign it.
Oh, I think actually it's Christian Gowdy will sign it on the right, and I think Alicia's signing it on the
Right.
left.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think we better put our own names on there as well. We'll all three sign it. Please put something on there, Sarah, so that we know we have discussed this. All right?
So I want to add to something that Steve mentioned. Like if there was excavation and somebody would maintain the road, we have a highway department for that, whereas we don't have, we don't have a group that does, broad maintenance of all the lands.
No,
So-
It's-
I think
said
it's
it's just-
different.
It's different, and the whole thing with Hooper was based on one person, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So that was my concern.
Okay.
Well, one group at least. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I think we'll put our names on there anyway, Sarah. So we've approved it anyway. We've approved this,
Mhm.
but
It needs some correction, so I may not have it available right away for this weekend because the yellow part needs to be edited.
yes, I see you've written in the corrections.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you for doing that. Okay. That's fine. Well, we'll get it done anyway. And we have a thank you for that. And we have a thank you note from our place. I see that you're putting on that Bill Perrin has thanked us for the town's contribution. Okay. The next issue under new business is Dairy Hill Road, where off-road vehicles are damaging the property. I don't know whether any of you saw Mike Rouse emails, did you, that he's talking
Yes.
to the farmer. And I'm not sure what we can do about off-road vehicles using the road. I don't think we can stop them, unfortunately, because they're licensed vehicles. It is a Class 6 road. It's an emergency lane, and only part of it is an emergency lane, and that's the lane that we make sure is accessible for emergency vehicles, should there be a fire or something up there. Any comments you want to make about it?
I think it's a difficult situation. I mean, I understand the farmer's concern about being able to get up there and to get access. And yes, it's unfortunate that we can't limit off-road vehicles, especially if they're doing damage. That makes the road, more difficult to navigate.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. It's the same problem with Whipple Hill Road as
Yes,
well.
it is. It is. That's exactly right. Is there any other business to come up for new business? Nope.
No,
Can we then go into adjourn this meeting, the select board meeting of May 21st, 2020 at 7:05, and then go into a motion to go into Hooper, please?
I move to go into the Hooper trustees meeting.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Okay, and I as well. So we are moving into the Hooper trustee meeting, which I will call to order at 7:06 on May 21st, 2020. First item of business are the trustee minutes. Who's going to do that?
I move to approve the Hooper
You want to put up
trustee.
Can you put them up at all, Sarah?
Hold on, let me do screen share. You see this?
Okay. Yeah,
No.
well said. I make a motion to accept the Hooper trustee minutes of May 14th, 2020.
Second.
Are there any comments or questions about those minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The Hooper trustee minutes of May 14th, 2020 are approved.
I make a motion to accept the April 2020 Hooper Educational Fund reimbursement to the town of Walpole in the amount of $7,310.88.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments about this at all? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Steve?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I vote yes, which means we are approving the request for reimbursement from the Hooper Educational Fund to the town of Walpole for $7,310.88. The maintenance expenses will come to us next meeting. Is there any reason for us to go into Hooper non-public business today?
No.
Nope.
Okay, then we will adjourn the Hooper meeting. If I will move that we adjourn the Hooper meeting at 7:08. There's no objection. And I'd like a motion to go into non-public business for the select board, please.